Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, come on in. Say hello, say hello. Come on in. Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hi, everyone. 𝒂𝒏𝒕. See, I got it right. Official underscore Cassie. Hi, everyone. Essentials 247. Daniel, it's Lord of the Most High God. Namo Jesu. Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy new month. Yes. Yeah, we're just in this. Yeah, this is a happy new month because the last time I saw you guys was in May. Happy new month. Happy June. Happy last month of the first half of 2024. How are you, everyone? And if you're just joining us, if you happen to just stumble on this live, welcome in. Say hello as you come in. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad that we're able to talk. Absolutely. Yes, Niger for life. You can take the girl out of Nigeria. You can take the Nigeria as a girl. For real, I'm telling you. Anyway, hi everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the month of June. Welcome to the month of favor. Welcome to the month of abundance, of God's goodness, God's mercies. Welcome to the month that is going to change things in our lives. Welcome to the month of resurrection. Welcome to the month of breakthroughs. Hello, Miss Anna Sanctuary. How are you? We're speaking it into existence. We're speaking it before we see it, knowing that even before we pray, God has answered. Before we call upon Him, He has answered. So we're going to speak it and walk by faith. Everything that we thought that we should have achieved in the first 5 months of the year, and it looked like we did not, because He's the God of the suddenly. He will let us meet with favor. Those who had opposed and oppressed and suppressed us, thinking they had won, He's going to make those people the same people to favor us, even against and in spite of their own conviction. So shall it be. So we're going to speak it into existence. Even when things do not seem to go well, we're still going to speak it into existence. I had a criminal trial this morning, and it didn't go as I expected it to, but it could have been worse. So in spite of not getting the argument or the expected result of the argument, God still provided it because it could have been worse. My client could have been facing 20 years, but instead he's been sentenced to 12 months. In spite of, there's still going to be a reason to praise. And it's going to tell Miss Savannah, it's going to be well. It's going to be well. So we've got to speak it. Whatever it is that we thought we should have achieved in the first 5 months, God is able to let us achieve them just like that in seconds. So shall it be. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale. I'm an immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. We get that question every single day. And the answer is, it doesn't matter what state you live in. If it's an immigration case and it's a case type that we handle, we can represent you. If you have an interview that my schedule allows me to, because most people think if you're in Alabama, you can appear for an interview. No, that's not true. So if it's something where my schedule allows me to, and you attend my services, I usually attend interviews as well in other states. So still our text messaging app is still down. So if you've sent us a text and you want to know what's responding, please text us on WhatsApp. There is this SMS registration thing that is required by all businesses. We're still waiting on our approval. There was a delay in that, not on our end, but it is what it is. So right now we can only text on WhatsApp. Hello, Miss Mary. My Instagram is working today, thank God. So please send us a text. If you sent us a regular text and our regular number, and you did not get a response, please understand it's not that we're ignoring it. We just, we can't receive text and we cannot text back. But we can do that on WhatsApp, which is still the same office number, 334-341-4475. So, and good to know. Our website also, if you're looking to discuss your case with me, we had someone text on call today trying to bypass consultation. It's not going to happen. The free version is what I do Tuesdays and Thursdays, but you're not going to bypass it. It is what it is, because I think I give enough information already, doing this. So if you're going to need something specific to your case, you're going to have to pay, just like you would have to pay to go see your doctor. It's the same thing. So you can go on our website, olalayalawfirm.com. That's one of the fastest ways for you to be able to do that. But it's the same number on WhatsApp if you need to text us. After hours usually reverts to text, 334-341-4475. Please share, like, follow, subscribe, all social media platforms at Olaleye Immigration. We will very much appreciate you subscribing and following and liking. So we've started this month, even though client is locked up, but at least I know that I'm laughing not because it's funny. I'm laughing because you can cry. Sometimes you just can't cry. But even when the DA tells you that, listen, you trying to make limited out of them that you were given was a tough case, but thank God. But in immigration news, we thank God for our approvals. Thank God for the I-130 we got approved today. It's been pending since 2022, and after all that, USCIS sent them. I think the 485 was denied, and then I-130 again got an error feed that they was like, okay, what do we do? Came to our firm, and we knew we had to make sure that it was well packaged, well assembled, and told their story in such a way where let's just see. And I was expecting them, to be honest with you, I was expecting a notice of intent to deny, to be honest. And so sent it in May 24th, got an approval today, but God. It's not anything anyone knows how to do specially, but because of God's grace. So we're speaking favor into this one and believing that we shall make with favor. We've got to speak it before you see it, right? So let's talk immigration. Hello, finest Shandy. Okay. It is a night of questions, people. Let me put that up here. Let's see. Okay, what are we talking about tonight? Taking questions. The way it works is put your questions in the comment section, and we'll try to go on all platforms. I am actually signed in on LinkedIn tonight. Look, and you can try something new. Because I get a lot of invitations on LinkedIn. It's just one of those social media platforms that, even though it's really good for my business immigration practice, I just don't. Yeah, I'm well. I'm well. Anyway, okay. So put your comments and questions in the comment section. I will try to get to as many questions as possible. Disclaimer: general responses to your questions, nothing specific to anyone's case. That is what the consultation is for. If you want to discuss your case in detail, that's what we will need to do, which is to schedule a paid consultation. Talking of consultations, y'all in Illinois, I'm going to be in Chicago next week. So I am thinking that we may, Miss Eleanor Sanctuary, Miss Abdina, all finance would, I'm thinking someone can, if we get at least 20 people out of Illinois, Indiana area, we may be able to do like a live session, because I'm going to be there most of next week. We have our annual Immigration Lawyers Association conference. I mean, if one of the ways you can get vetted and verified as an immigration attorney is by being a member of American Immigration Lawyers Association. It's not an inexpensive association to be a part of, but it is very, very good. The wealth of knowledge that we get as members, it's not comparable to any other thing. So it's something I just try not to miss at all each year. So going to get as much information so that can be translated or transferred, I should say, to being able to have even much more in-depth representation for clients. There's nothing like it. It's judges, is USCIS officers, immigration judges, what's it called, government officials. It's a full blown, full packed week of immigration news, immigration knowledge. There's nothing like it. So that's going to be happening in Chi-Town next week. So since I'm going to be there most of next week, I'm going to also try to do some consultations. We'll see how that goes. If not, we have an attorney who is available next week. For those who may want to have consultation, Attorney Gosha is available to do that. But if you are in Chi-Town and you would like to have a live consultation session, if I get at least 20 people, we can do that. If it's less than 20, it's not going to be worth my while, because it's not going to be free. But it's not going to be the standard consultation thing. It's going to be like 2 hours where you're paying, really a stipend or something. But just coming together and talking about immigration, review whatever notices you have, I think it's going to be a good idea. So if you are in Chi-Town or Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, or Indiana area, and you want to be part of that, please contact Ms. Eleanor Sanctuary or reach out to us, and we'll see how many people we get. That will determine what the fee will be. It's not going to be my consultation fee. It's going to be way less than even the 30 minutes, but it has to be just come together, let's talk in person. So anyway, okay, so let's get to questions. Let's get to questions. Please refrain from repeating the questions. Thank you, Ms. Albina. Please refrain from repeating questions. If you repeat your questions, I'm going to skip it all together, so that we can get to everyone's questions as much as possible. Okay, let's go. Hello, Noel. How are you? How are you doing? Hello, Miss Gibson. How have you been? Your birthday was on Sunday. Happy birthday, Nariz. Happy birthday. Where's your nephew, TJ? He's in his room. He is doing well. My ex-husband's birthday was on Saturday. He turned 50. The guy is half a century old. He already knows when to say something. Go, hey, listen. He's used to my mouth at this time, because I've known the guy 28 years. Yeah. So we celebrated him. So I had a few times really rubbing it in, like, brother, it's well 50 years, half a century. She, I thought you were in 40s. When you fair coin. No, just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Birthday assistant, tell you the things you do for your kids. Oh, but it was good. He is someone who doesn't celebrate birthdays. And I thought, why not? Still had to rub it in, but it was good just celebrating. I think it's God's grace where we've come to, and I think really we just got to the point where it's half a century for real. Got to the point where it was more like, you've got to put, and I've always done that, but to be able to be in the same room and actually laugh together and all that, when you have God first and you let Him direct you, and then your focus is not about the issues you had. The fact that you're not good spouses doesn't mean that you're going to be bad parents. So when that focus shifts to the kids, and your kids are thriving like nothing happened, and they're not caught in a warfare, you got to be grateful. Thank you, Finance Jandy. Yes, yeah. If y'all meet him, you're gonna like, sister lawyer, can you but I should finger no, because and then we put on great colleague it's about from you send. I'm sure he's probably watching. So carry a lot in me monk body will see you like auntie and no money problem, but let's just leave it alone. Let's just leave that alone. But his birthday was on June 1st. He turned 50, so we thank God for grace upon him. So happy birthday, Nares, Ms. Gibson. Hello, Mr. Femi. How are you? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sabrina. Yeah, please share, subscribe to YouTube. Please, we appreciate that. Follow, like, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn too. I'm trying to reactivate that one. Hello, Miss Pinky. How are you? Hello, Miss Christiana. That's true. Chicago level, right? You bring in your info. See, the more reason why. So y'all in Chinatown, you already know that I love Chicago. I lived in Chicago for 3 years, actually. I lived in Chicago from 2003 to 2006. So that's one of my favorite cities ever. I just do not, I can never do the winter anymore. Like that winter, y'all, and talk about just go, but blizzard, no, it's not happening. Summertime is when I love to go. I would love to be able to meet people. I'd love to be able to actually do an in-person, face-to-face consultation. It will be great. Miss Alex, and I think Miss Alex, I'm going to need your help. If you would reach out to her, if we get at least 20 people, then at that point, I'll be able to decide how much it's going to be, even if it's just for you guys to get, for us to get a restaurant where it's an African restaurant and you're going to have to buy food. You ain't going to come and sit down, and even if it's just to buy, to patronize that restaurant and support another immigrant, and we even if that's a fee, that's still something that's going to be supporting someone else who's also an immigrant like us. That would be great, but it's got to be worth it. I'm not going to show up with just 10 people. I'm not doing it. Let's come together and celebrate someone else while gaining knowledge. So if we could do that, that would be great. But we'll just see how things go between now and next Monday. If anyone has a suggestion of where to go in Chi-Town that is really, really, restaurant owners, if you have that, that will be great. So just come in and just gather together and talk. I have quite a number of clients in Illinois and Indiana, so I know that y'all need to just, let's go. Okay. Miss Christiana, tell about anyone who has a restaurant in Chicago. That would be great to just do that and support someone else. But you would have to, my thinking right now just occurred to me. You would have to come in and pay and buy food, even if you're going to take it away. You ain't going to come in for free and sit down. No, let's support somebody else. Can you suggest a restaurant? We don't want Ghanaian restaurant, Miss Abena. No. You can, as long as not Ghanaian restaurant. Y'all Ghanaians don't come for me. Just leave me alone. I'm just saying. She asked a question I answered. So no, we ain't doing it. Okay. Okay. Hello, Miss Tina. How are you? I entered through Mexico border in February, and my court case is slated for April 2000. You mean 2025? Because April 2024 has passed. Mr. Sampson. Okay. Just so you just corrected that. On to the next step. Next step is to sit down with a lawyer to discuss your case. What happens to that? What happens to the? Okay. What happened to that files? For when the processing time was 2 years, will the 39.9 months be applied to them? I have no clue what you're asking, Sonny, if you want to rephrase your question. Okay. Yes, Miss Christiana, I just remember that you're actually in Chicago. When you receive your receipt note number, what is next? What should you expect? I'm assuming you mean when you receive your receipt notices, you just wait for your case to be adjudicated. That's basically what is next. It depends on the kind of case you have. You may be scheduled for biometrics. Yeah. Okay, so that's that for right now on there. Let me go to TikTok and then we'll see. I think we have plenty. So we're doing questions tonight. If you're just coming in, put your immigration questions in the comment section, and I'll try to give you not as good a response as possible. Okay, after you receive your receipt notice as well, so that's the same person on Facebook there. So is it YouTube? Anything about how long is something going to take? How long is my work permit going to take? How long is the no? Go on USCIS.gov/processing times. That would give you the answer you're looking for as far as how long, because that's the same place that I would go to see what the estimated time is. Okay, let's see. Thank you for sharing the live. I love your username on TikTok. No peace for the wicked. I love that. I'm trying to translate to Yoruba language. As y'all can see, my brain is working. What is weekend in Yoruba language? In Yabugu, I think. How do you say it? No peace with, because it's going to be really, really it's going to be really, really it sounds, English is no respect of man. But when you say some things in Yoruba language, or whatever your Igbo, also whatever it is, it's more the emphasis is there. You can hear the epic movements, you can really, really understand, and it would hit you hard. Is it good to do amendment of what? What if you were stuck outside the country for 7 months in COVID? Can you still file for citizenship? You may be able to, as long as you're able to rebut any allegation of the break in your continuous residence. That's a possibility. If not, it may be just safer for you to just build that physical presence, continuous residence all over again, and then take a shot at it when you've already acquired that residency requirement. Okay. Case approved at interview since April 4, being on advanced parole with no documents requested, and CEAC status on refused. So what's your question? I'm a green card holder, cannot file for my husband who is here with me. As a green card holder, you can file an I-130 for the relatives that you qualify to, or you're eligible to petition on behalf, such as your husband. The question really is, can your husband now apply for a green card in the country based on the I-130 petition that you're going to file for him? It will depend on if he is in valid status at the time the priority date becomes current. So right now, you cannot do a concurrent filing as a spouse of a green card holder because the priority date is not current. So when you file, you've got to wait until USCIS gets to the date that you submit your I-130 petition, and then your spouse files their I-485 application. At the time they file that, as the spouse of a green card holder, the law requires them to still be in valid non-immigrant status. If they are out of status, they will not be eligible to apply for a green card while physically present in the country. That means they will have the consular process. They may need a waiver depending on if they have triggered any permanent bar. So the best thing you want to do is JED is to sit down with a lawyer. Can I go ahead and file for my citizenship when I have 48 months extension of I-751? If you qualify based on 3 years, based on 1 year, if you're in the military, based on 5 years, if you qualify, then yes, you can. You don't have to have your 751 approved before you apply for citizenship. If anything, sometimes filing for citizenship actually helps to fast track your 751. U.S. citizen filed for the kid under 18, but it was approved and visa granted after kid is 19 years. Is the kid eligible for citizenship at point of entry? For the child to be eligible for citizenship, that child must be a legal permanent resident, and the child must be under the age of 18. If the child is over 18, the child has to wait to become eligible on their own and then apply for citizenship at that time. Good evening from Chicago, Leonard colleague Adebayo Additional. Good evening. I'm assuming that's a lawyer. Okay, wicked is Ika. So no peace for the wicked. Because since me found that and I want to that's I think it's in your boo something, you know. Okay. Is it usual for work permit and travel documents to be approved before prima facie? It is possible. Um, yeah, because see me in anything buru. See, I can, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Marcus. Pastor Marcus, how are you? Can I file for VA in divorce proceedings? As long as the divorce, if it's still in divorce proceedings, yes. If the divorce is final, as long as the divorce it hasn't been more than 2 years since your divorce was final, you still remain eligible to apply for VA. Made a mistake on my physical address while filing for I-130. I wrote the day I lived, but not the till day. Okay. So what is your question? Will it matter? Not necessarily. If they're going to send, if they needed information about that, don't worry about such things. That's not something that's going to make any difference, really. Unless it is where if there's some reason to doubt the marriage, if this is marriage based, and the dates will help them to now figure out whether or not you live with your spouse. That's where that may come into play. But if it's something, you can always write them. That's one of the policies they actually released recently on the I-130. You can send them a letter, or you can upload, if you're the petitioner, you can upload it to your account requesting to make that amendment on your case. Okay. JD, you're welcome. My question is, why is I-751 taking a long time when they don't do interviews? They actually do interviews. It just depends. Just like a regular green card case, they have the discretion to decide if they're going to waive interview your case or not. But I'm seeing more 751s actually be scheduled for interviews. I'm also seeing more people filing for citizenship so that they can get that 751 adjudicated. Keep in mind, however, that this is something that happened recently to a client. So just so you know, some USCIS actually scheduled a client of mine for they have a pending I-751 that I don't represent them on. I represent them on the citizenship application. She got an interview notice for the I-751, because most of the time you get an interview notice for the citizenship, and then they tell them, okay, I have a pending 751. You've got to adjudicate that first before you get to citizenship. The citizenship is still pending, no update, nothing. Got an interview notice for the 751. She went with the attorney that represents on the 751, only to get then USCIS decides they're going to do a citizenship interview for her on the same day. No updates about it. It was not a case of being scheduled. They just said, oh, well, we thought you would know. How are you supposed to know? You didn't send me an interview notice for it. The other way around. We always anticipate that, but not you saying 751 when this is in for. But I say all that to say this. If you file for citizenship or you have 751, either of the notices you get first, be prepared to actually have interview on both applications, just so you know. Okay, let's see. Okay. If someone is in exclusion proceedings, are they able to terminate their case with an I-130 approval? Generally, yes. How long does it take if I file for my sibling? Like 265 years. 15 to 17 years is the reality of what it's taking to file for citizen for your sibling, for real. What documents do you need to file I-130 for kids abroad when you divorce their mom? Sit down with a lawyer to discuss your case and talk about checklists that you need. Okay. What is the waiting period before you start the process of citizenship as a green card holder? It depends on what basis you're filing. You're filing based on being a legal permanent resident for 3 years or 5 years, whichever one, or did you join the military? Are you filing based on getting your green card from VA? 90 days before that, 3 years or 5 years, then you're able to file for citizenship. Okay, all right. Go back to removal proceedings terminated by the judge. I-130 approved in 2020. RFE status ideal applied for VA in July 2023. Received my prima facie and combo card. Is it safe to travel? That's a question for your lawyer. I would not, unless you're my clients, I do not give advice on travel. Hello, Miss Arlene. How are you? Hello, Mr. Gabriel. Go see. Huh. Go see me phone. Any buburu. That makes no sense. Okay. Go see me phone in buburu. There's no peace for the weekend. Okay. Let's see. When you come to my live and you want to be a complete fool, then you are going to be banned. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Abena. Yes. I'm not really sure why people, and I think for people who come and put negative comments on other people, and I have colleagues who have that, they're just miserable people in their lives. If you go, this 𝐸𝐸𝐸 guy, I'm sure if you look at him calling someone ghetto, I can guarantee that you and I will stand in the room and nobody would look at you. So you must be very miserable in your life. And I pray that God visits you with some kind of peace, or maybe a wife or some lady who's going to look, because obviously you're fascinated with me. But thank you for the fascination and have a good life. Why USCIS transfer my case to National Benefits Center, please? Well, it depends on what kind of case you have, what's the basis of the transfer. So that's not something I cannot speculate to what could have oh yes, I have zero tolerance for that kind of nonsense. Okay. Yeah. People like that are just very miserable in their lives. They don't have any direction, nothing. And sometimes people they're just obsessed with you, that they're living their own insecurities through that. And the internet is a safe, quote unquote, safe place for them to actually hide behind. But if you look deep in their lives, they would need therapy, they would need some kind of validation, but they're not getting it. And I think it starts with being able to get some prayer. Hello, yummy face. How are you? How much do you charge for I-751 extreme hardship? I don't have fee ranges. I don't have fee quotes. I quote fees based on evaluating your case, and I do that and discuss your case in the proper paid consultation. You're welcome, Hustlers _joint. That was a great consultation with you, and thanks to Ms. Abena too. How long does it take to get a green card after getting social and parole? That's another question I can answer. Once again, if you're looking for anything as far as processing times, please go on uscis.gov/processing time. That will give you the estimated time frame that USCIS is taking. But let me say this. USCIS has average time frame for petitions, applications, and all that. But understand that that is the average time it takes them to adjudicate about 80% of that specific case type. However, every case is different. I've had the same kind of cases with very similar evidence, very similar immigration history. Some approved that, for instance, a marriage-based case approved in 5 to 7 months, and some I have going on 2 years. So I always say, because you cannot possibly compare your case to somebody else's case. It's not going to go at the same time. Just so you're aware of that. And because everybody's so stuck on processing how long, and I understand that the delay can be frustrating. But as immigrants, we also know that most of us are not patient. Raise your hand if you have an issue, if you need therapy and patience. Yeah, instant gratification. Sometimes you just got to be patient. You can't compare. Same time like the post office that submit paperwork or to buy green card 10 years ago, and you didn't come to this world together. So just try not to compare. It can be frustrating, but just try not to compare. Her Royal Highness Queen. But yeah, I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. Thank you. I have been married since September 2021. Cannot file for my citizenship application now. How long you've been, the length of time of your marriage has nothing to do with you qualifying for citizenship. It's not that long you've been married. A lot of people get this wrong. Please hear me loud and clear. The length of time you've been married has nothing to do with when you're able to file for citizenship. Citizenship is based on how long you've been a permanent resident for and what your category will be. So you've been married since 2021 has nothing to do with when you can file for citizenship. What matters is when did you become a green card and on what basis are you going to be filing for citizenship. Can a spouse of a U.S. citizen file for the children of her husband after the I-130 has been approved while I-45 is pending? So just to be clear, so your husband's I-130 has been approved, but I-45 is pending, and you're thinking of filing for your husband's children. In other words, your stepchildren. If that's your question, as long as those children qualify as a child for immigration purposes, meaning you were married to the father before the children turned 18, and at the time of filing for them, they're unmarried and under the age of 21. My work authorization renewal was denied. Can you assist me with that ASAP? Yes, we can. Contact our office 334-341-4475. Fastest way for you to schedule a consultation is going to be through our website, olalayalawfirm.com. So that's the first step you have to take, which is to schedule a consultation. Thank you. Once again, yes, how people live with themselves, I don't know. Someone also tonight, Lydia, my assistant, was sent me another TikTok video going around with my profile photo, but it's not our page. So as Ms. Ellen Sanctuary said, please, when in doubt, call us, text us, or WhatsApp. Our number isn't going to change. Our number is out there for everybody. It's on the web. It's everywhere. I think I do so many public, service announcements. I want to PSA to let you know before you pay it. I'm someone that I don't just sign up to pay for anything just like that. I'll ask questions, I'll Google and research. So please do the same thing and make sure you're not giving your money to the wrong people. Okay, Miss Marie, welcome back to Instagram. Let's see. Is there a filing fee for the 601 waiver for vaccine in the marriage-based case? Generally, yes, unless you request a fee waiver. Grace will always speak for us. Amen. Finance Shandy. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's the same question. Oh, Falabi, you're using two usernames. Miss Mary says my family on Instagram is quite an age. Is being it's quite an age. Like a meet and greet. Well, Miss in the Sanctuary, not necessarily. It's more geared towards being able to address immigration concerns. Yeah, meet and greet, but still targeting. Okay, I think we're back. Sometimes this internet is just yeah something. Oh, I'm not sure if I'll call it that, but kind of. Nuruddin, okay, Indiana Post, okay. Fire Shandy, okay, yes. I mean, y'all just let us know if you want to do that. I just feel like it's an opportunity to be able to do like I I don't know. Yeah, I have the plan in my head. When are you coming to Georgia? I was supposed to be in Georgia later this month, and I was looking forward to doing that. But I'm going to be having an interview on 25th, which I was hoping to make it in person, but I have a criminal trial on the 26th, so I can't possibly afford not to be in town. I see Robinson. I did half a century. It is what it is. It is what it is. Thank you, Isabella. My happiness is that Sister Lawyer got herself an army base. If you like, loose garden. Yeah, listen. When you get to the stage, when you go from you can't stand each other. Now, I filed for divorce. Y'all keep your judgment to yourselves. Um, but when you get to a stage where you couldn't stand each other, you won't even stand to be in the same room, let alone to the point where God puts you in a position where y'all have a family group chat. You've got an ex that prays for you, and you're alone shit now. And y'all don't come with it's negative. No, and my business. Let's just leave that alone. I have done my interview since 2022. My update on case tracker has not been changed, and the USCI has even requested for RFE being submitted. My update on my case tracker has changed since. Then Nuruddin, I guess you probably would get to the point. If your case is not 2 years with someone RFE, you may want to get if you've done an inquiry through USCIS, you've done a congressional assistance request, you've done ombudsman assistance request, then it may be time for you to sue USCIS so that they can actually adjudicate your case. When you experience a place with no snow, there's no going back at all. That snow thing is good to watch. And that fee will cover your meal. That fee is going to go to the restaurant. They factored everything in, and it will cover your meal and you come in. I think that will be how. Yes, that's how it is. So if you're getting enough, people will do that. And the food has to be good and not Ghanaian jollof rice. I'm about to get it. I know. I won't let it slide. Ghana kills before they will give you meat pie. I'm telling you, even Ghanaian meat pie is not the same. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me put her And if you are on Instagram, let's make this happen. Let me put here. Hold on 1 second for Miss Eleanor Sanctuary. So if you're on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and LinkedIn, it's just make sure I have it correctly. It's on the score. Okay. So reach out to Miss Eleanor Sanctuary on Instagram. So here it is on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Let's make it happen. If we have like 20 people signing, if we have 20 people sign up, then we can do maybe like $50 a piece, where it's not necessary. And the truth is that depending on the restaurant, it's got to be something that's got good food. And the truth is that all of that probably will go to the restaurant owner. It's a way to support an immigrant, not necessarily African, but Caribbean, African, whatever the case may be. But majority of my clients are Nigerian, so you probably would be that, and support someone who is also an immigrant to being a bus lady or a bus guy in their own a boss in their own right. And then you also get to have immigration, maybe an hour and a half of questions. I think it will be a great deal, a good deal to do. So please reach out to Miss Eleanor Sanctuary on Instagram at Eleanor Sanctuary. Let's see by Friday. Today is Tuesday. By Friday, let's see where we are. If we've got that amount of people, and if you're in Indiana as well or close by, that can also work. So I'm thinking. So we're thinking what date? I'm thinking probably Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday night next week. And let's just see. It's going to be nighttime, so I know people work, but people come. Let's just see where we are on Friday, and then I think that will be the deciding factor. So that's at Eleanor's _ sanctuary on Instagram. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Mr. Kelvin. How are you? Shalafia Lewa. And thank you for sharing the good news. Mr. Kelvin, I'm allowed to send me new photographs though. I got my VA approved last year. Congratulations. But I'm in removal proceedings for my asylum that was denied. But I filed motion for reopen BIA, and every time I check, it showed no future hearing for this. So what's your question? Let's see. Can someone who missed a citizenship ceremony send emails to USCIS to reschedule for the ceremony? Generally, you should be able to do that. It's going to be tough a bit, but you should be able to do that. Can I submit an I-130 after my NIW has been approved, but not current to file for 85? You can't file an I-131 on its own without a 485. So if your priority is not current, then you can't file a standalone I-131 based on an NIW petition. Can you please explain the continuous presence when applying for citizenship? Is it the number of times you've traveled or been outside the country for 6 months in one travel? It's both. So even if you've been outside the country for less than 6 months for each of your travels, if it's been too frequent, that can also potentially break the continuous residency chain. Oh, Miss Abina, I was just seeing your message. Yeah. Receipt notices are taking much longer for whatever reason. I'm seeing that we're getting VAL receipt notices faster in regular cases, but maybe standalone I-130s are taking a while. I-290B applications are taking a while. I'm not sure what's going on, but that's you're right. No, not all kind of cases. There was some. I did my interview 2 weeks ago, and today they said action is taken on my case, and I should be expecting a letter that explains it. What could it be? This and I following. I can't speculate to what the action could be. Let's see. Lifting movements, and Anthony Sam was reading the trolls. I got zero tolerance for negativity. That's one thing. Zero. There's too much negativity in the world. And see, when you try, if you try to come on my space and you want to be a bully, you're going to lose, because there's nothing you can possibly say that's going to that's going to affect me. Yeah, you don't even know who you're dealing with. So, but I'll put you in your place. That's the one thing that you won't get away. I will put you right there in your place and make you feel the way you're supposed to feel, since you have no respect for yourself. Hello, Alan Girl. How are you? There are a lot of bitter souls with keypads. I love that. And sometimes you just have to pray for them. Sometimes you got to pray for people who really are completely lost, and they gain validation in trying to bring other people down, but it still doesn't help them, because they wake up the next and they're still feeling the same way. So sometimes it's just about praying for them. How long does it take for an expedited request for I-360 to be granted? There's no time frame. It can be. We've had some granted in less than 7 days, some up to 30 days. You just never know. Can one travel internationally on a 2-year conditional green card without any problems? I can't tell you whether you can travel without any problems, but I can tell you that generally you've got a 2-year green card. It is a green card. You should be able to travel. It doesn't mean USCIS cannot, CBP cannot stop you and still ask you questions out of discretion. But all things being equal, it's a green card, so that shouldn't be, unless it's something that happened during your immigration process that may potentially be an issue. Can I file for my siblings on an employment basis with my business? Generally, yes, as long as they qualify and they're able to adjust whether they're in the country or apply for an immigrant visa at the embassy. Can a DUI, first-time offender, Miss Tammy, lead to deportation? Of course, asking for a friend. All right, let me see. Well, since we're asking questions for a friend now. He fears that he'd be detained and deported on Friday for a DUI that occurred last week and triggered on his USCIS. Okay. So, Miss Tammy, I know it's not you. There are a lot of friends. But for her, I know it's not her, because she's my client. And if that was her, I would have been the first to know. So that much I can say. So what does he have? Does he have a status? Does he have a case pending? What is it? And DUI is not a first-time offense of DUI, depending on the state, but for the most part, should not make the person deportable. But if they do not have a status, it's not about the crime itself. It's about the fact that if the arresting agency knows you don't have a status, and then they call ICE, because some states are required to do that, then that can land you in removal proceedings. So he may be best to just sit down with a lawyer before he has his court date on Friday. I only had to watch his lawyers to lie to know her number. She sings it like it's like a jingle. Please don't call. It's true. Yeah, I can send the number in my sleep. Are fee waivers usually approved fees? Generally, they can be, but it just depends. You have to show that you are someone you've got low income that will satisfy the requirement for USCIS. So is it going to be one-on-one, or it's going to be a group session? It cannot be one-on-one. I won't possibly have time to do that. And now, no, I won't even. I don't think there will be time to do that. So you must be willing to. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to share everything, but you must be willing to talk about something. Yes, whatever you come up with, Ms. Ernest Sanctuary, that will be fine. I'm just putting the idea out there. What can be this? I did my second interview. Okay, that's the same person. Please don't repeat questions. Thank you, Fanny Shani, because what's with you and the good angel or friends not getting along? Nikki, apple, oranges, apple, oranges. Right, Miss Savannah? They didn't do anything. Don't let kind of people come for me. Like, okay, Mr. Kelvin, thank you. I'll be expecting. This sound does not do negative. You can tell that's my sister calling me this. Thanks for all you do for me. Thank you, Anthony Senate. Let's see. How can I schedule appointment with you? So many ways. You can call our office during our normal business hours, 8:30 to 5 p.m. Send a text on WhatsApp. Lydia will respond and give you the information. But the easiest, fastest way, go on our website. As soon as you get an olalayalawfirm.com, it is on the banner. Click the link, takes us directly there. You're doing it all. And another thing, please, we do not ask you to give us payment information. If you cannot schedule a consultation on your own, you're going to have to find someone to help you. That is my standing order. Nobody goes against that. For everyone's safety, to protect your information. That's another way you know that if someone is telling you to give them your card information, that's another way to know that's not us. That's not us. Because I need a question of your credit card. I'm there. You've got to do it on your own. So just another way to know. It's the fastest. All right. Let's see. Okay. Yes. Can I pay for consultation to ask about traveling with my advanced parole? Bill 46, if you have a lawyer, you've got to talk to your lawyer. If you do not have a lawyer, I cannot still advise whether I can discuss your case specifically and ask about your history without actually knowing and having your file. I'm still going to be based on what you tell me. And hopefully, maybe you tell me this. Obviously, there may be more than obviously this is a public forum, so that you may have something more to say, but just so you know that it's hard to give you advice on whether you should travel because for instance, if I'm taking over a case, I do a FOIA request first. I get your record and then decide if it's a case I'm going to take, because I can't fly blind. I got to know what I'm getting into. Traveling is just one of those sensitive things that you've got to be a client of mine that I already know your history. Because my clients always tell me when you're leaving, when you're on your way. I'm on speed dial. I'm just stand by to text because I've got to know, right? So that's how that works. If you still want to do a conversation with that, knowing that, then that's fine. Can I submit an I-131 after my I? Why are you guys repeating questions? Daniel, you just asked the same question in Instagram. Okay. Wow, God just sent me into your channel. Welcome, Estelle. That's what we love to hear. It's about faith here. Can you please take my case? I received a note on K1 application for failing to report an old divorce. I just received a divorce decree, but I don't want to make any dumb mistake. Estelle, I cannot tell you whether I can take your case. What I can tell you to do is to schedule a consultation. I hope you've heard me saying the same thing. If you go on our website, I hope everybody has Miss Sanctuary's information. So let me switch and put our website information on. Let's see. Okay, right here. So Estelle, that's the website, olalayalawfirm.com. That's the fastest way for you to be able to schedule a consultation to discuss your case. How long, anything about how long go on USCIS.gov for present times. What happened when National Benefit Sentences action completed, approved for filing initial state, please? I can speculate to that. Okay. Do employers accept EAD extension documents? They are required to. Some employers make it a big deal, but they're required to. Sometimes I've had to write a letter on behalf of a client to explain that this is what the policy is and attach some policies from USCIS and let them know that they can't get in trouble because that is what the law is. But some of them still will insist on having the EAD. I can drive down to Alabama for the appointment. No, you cannot, because I don't do in-person appointments. Okay. When USA says the present time is 3 years, does that mean the case will be visited within 3 years, or that you would actually have a conclusion on your case by the end? It's not. There's no there. For instance, there's some valid cases that are pending 4 years, and they in those cases they tell you they have background check or we're waiting on. But in that case, for instance, we're talking about a valid case, it will be about 3 years, give or take, plus or minus 6 months. That's what I'm seeing. So yeah. Okay. You're welcome, Estelle. All right. I think we covered quite a bit of questions today. Do I have to go back to my country during the process of my mom filing for me? Jordan, it will depend on what your status is. If you are going, I don't know how old you are, but if your mom is filing, if you're single, if you're married, if you're over 21, it just depends. I don't know what category you fall under. So the category you fall under would determine whether or not you're able to apply for a green card in the country. You being in valid status will also determine whether or not you're able to apply for a green card in the country. So that's just a very broad question. Can I get my NTA copy from USCIS? The best way to do that will be to do a FOIA request of your records. Usually a notice of appeal will be part of your records. Thank you, Nelly. Your hair amazes me. I just rebraided. Can you tell? Y'all can tell when I just rebraid my hair because my face looks smoother. I'm like, geez, you're foreign. I one day I'll do a video of me rebreading my hair because my hair is type 4C. Like it's the kinkiest of the kinkiest. The hair is long and is, I don't want to say, I got fine hair, but I got a lot of it. I'm not sure if that makes sense. It's not thick, it's fine, but it's got a whole lot, so it looks thick. But it's quite a journey. It's quite a process doing that. I'm telling you. Let's see. How do I file waiver from outside United States? It will depend on what waiver you qualify for, but sit down with a lawyer to do that. If you are filing a waiver from some, there are some international offices where you can submit that waiver, or you're going to have to get someone to help you submit it here. So, but you have to even know what waiver you're filing. My I-485 family base says stage 3, attend interview if necessary. But I have not heard anything. Okay, so what's your question? What's your question? Wish you were here in Texas. I do represent immigration clients in Texas. Actually, Texas has most of my clients. So I don't have to be there in Texas. We can actually represent you regardless of what state you live in. Single and over 21. Single and over 21, are you in the country presently, Jordan? And if you are in the country presently, what is your mom's status? Is she a citizen, green card holder? And are you in any current status right now? How much money for someone who wants to pay for a green card? Are you really asking me that question, Duke? Really? Okay. Let's see. What happens if they said they're gonna use my last fingerprints for my I-751? What do you mean? What happens? That's what it is. That you wouldn't need to have a new biometrics. They're gonna reuse your prints. Okay. what happens when I cancel a K1 visa after it's been approved? So you cannot cancel the visa itself once it's been issued, because that's been issued by the embassy. So the person can still come into the United States. If you're talking about canceling the petition, approved petition itself, so you're not moving forward, then that's it. You have it up until the embassy actually issues the K1 visa. The petitioner has a right to do that. Once the K1 visa has been issued, the person is on the plane. There's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is once they get here, if you don't marry them, then they can adjust status or change status if that petitioner does not marry them. So it just depends on what stage you're in. Okay, alrighty. Yes, I'm in the U.S. presently, and she's a green card holder. She'll be starting my process soon, but I was told I have to go back home during the process. You still haven't answered the question of what is your status? What status are you currently in? Can my son or daughter come over to study when my VA case is still in process? If they're able to get an F1 student visa that they apply for, there's nothing that stops them from coming over. Okay. Jordan, what is your status? So let me finish that and then. Got work permit but no parole. Is that concerning? No, because USCIS has the discretion to bifurcate the applications, even if you file them together concurrently, because sometimes that helps to speed up them approving your EAD while you wait for the advanced parole. So it's not concerning. All right, Jordan, I was trying to see if you can come. Oh Lord, my mind gives a shout out to Lady for all she does behind the scenes. You're a part of us, but then you place her luck. Thank you. She is. She said she's. Lydia was saying she's honorarily Nigerian because but somebody actually made her cry. She was trying to help someone with because we get a lot of people who are very confused about time zone. And the person, even though it's on our pages like, hey, no, even before you schedule, right, there's Alabama Central Time Zone, but people don't pay attention. And so she's trying to help the person, and I think there was some kind of miscommunication, but then the person came back and called her rude and just really mean. And so my staff is part of my family. Without my staff, I cannot do what I do. And so if you're going to be mean and disrespectful to someone and you want to have a conversation with me, that's not going to happen. So I told her that's fine. You've got to have a tough skin dealing with immigrants. I called the lady and I explained to her that's not acceptable. We'll be glad to refer you to somebody else, refund her money. You're not going to do that because you got to treat people the way you want to be treated. That's just me. You've got, someone is an assistant doesn't mean that they're less than you are. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So marriage didn't last more than 2 months. Abuse, threats, court papers, protective order. Does the length of marriage matter for VAWA? Absolutely not at all. Will USCIS approve a minor abroad visa application after the I-130 has been approved before the beneficiary's application is approved? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking, but what makes sense is, are you saying that your minor child's I-130 has been approved and they're in the process of visa application, but your I-130 is still pending? Artful expressions, is that what you're asking? Okay, thank you, Ms. Mike. I came on my visa in the U.S. for 3 years. Hope I answered the question correctly. But what kind of visa? What kind of visa is it? Is it a visitor visa? Is it a student visa? Thank you. What kind of visa is it? And are you still in that valid status? So if you've been told you've got to leave the country, then I'm thinking you're probably out of status. Maybe that's why. Okay, visitor visa. So most likely you're going to be out of status. There's no visitor visa that allows you to stay up to 3 years. It's not about how long the visa is valid for, it's about how long your I-94 is valid for. So if you've been here for 3 years and you're over 21, you're in preference category, I can tell you that you would not be able to apply for a green card in the country. When your case is approved, you will have to leave the country. And at this point, you most likely have triggered the permanent bar that will require you to file a waiver and have that approved, a waiver of the lawful presence before you leave the country. Okay. Alrighty. After I-140 application as single, can I marry and add spouse for adjustment of status? Yes, you can. Okay, people. And I think we got to as many questions. It would keep going, so we gotta stop at some point. Maybe in future, if you do calls that will clarify all questions. That's what the consultation is for, user. So that's what the consultation is for. Okay. All right, people. Thank you always for, but I want to have been approved. My I-485 is not yet approved. Okay. So you're saying, so that they may do that, especially because the I-130 has been approved, but they may not schedule the interview until your I-45 isn't approved. Most of the time, they will still go ahead and adjudicate that because both I-130s have been approved. You just never know with U.S. immigration. All right. Thank you, everyone, each and every time, for always joining in, for my girls, Miss Abena, Miss in the Sanctuary, Miss Fina Shandy, those three ladies. Thank God for you and for everybody, really. But that's my crazy crew. But let's just keep going. The year is just starting. I know it's June. I know it's that's the last month of the first half of the year. Yeah. But it's not about how long it's taken or how long we think it's taken. It's about the time that God decides to show you your breakthroughs and favors and overflowing grace. Because when grace takes over, nothing can stop you. And so let's just keep going. Let's just be, in spite of it all, especially when things don't work out our way, when it looks like, what is the point of having this faith if everything is going? Sometimes it's God just testing us to see how loyal and faithful we will remain in the midst of adversity, knowing that He's got the answers to our prayers, even before we ask, even before we pray. Just trusting that He knows it. He knows the end before it even happens. So, and there's no reason why He would not let us fulfill our destined end with overflowing grace and perfect health. Let's keep encouraging one another. Let's keep doing what we can. It is refreshing. I have one of my clients leave a review, and I like to read the reviews when I get the time. So I was just catching up on some of the reviews, and I have a new assistant, Ashanti, and we're talking. I was like, she goes, "Wow, you do a lot of work." I don't even think about it, because it is the gratitude in my heart is just being able to see people's lives change, and that's the reward there. So for the many people whose lives have changed and being able to just move on and actually have the freedom, the same God who did that for them, He is still the same God that's going to be the one to do it for each and every one of us, and our stories will all end in praise. I'll see you guys on Thursday.